Craig Salvatore takes the Roosters out for this historic game. First time we've played rugby league on Good Friday in the Winfield Cup. And a very big crowd is on hand. It's been a runaway success, I'm sure, for both the Eastern Suburbs Club and the Rugby League. And there is the Roosters lineup. Silver, Appleby, Ricketson, Murray, Orford, Hall, Freeman, Salvatore, O'Dwyer, Lowry, Tassel, Beecraft and Gaffey. That's the run-on team. Mark Murray's the coach. Luke Ricketson on camera. Hey man, I'm a Rooster fan. Plenty of you are out there tonight. South Sydney takes the field now. They got on the board last weekend after a tremendous pre-season. Let's have a look at their side. Maybon back at the full-back position. Shot, Horan, Thompson is back tonight. And that's a big plus. Minto, Slattery, Field, Johnston, Garlick, Carroll, Brown, Doniger and Andrews. And Frank Curry is the coach. Sidelines tonight on a reasonably nippy night. Steve Roach.
Pretty cool, Ray. I hope you enjoy the warmth up there in the commentary box. The breeze coming from the north, favouring the South Sydney side in the first half. And look for a big game from Craig Salvatore, represented his side, picked in 2 weeks. He's looking for a big one.
So Steve Roach on the sidelines, Paul Vorton and Peter Sterling in the box with us. Bill Harrigan's the referee, and a giant weekend of rugby league coming up for you on your Rugby League channel. Sunday we go to Western Suburbs for their big game against Illawarra. Then Monday, a tremendous promotion down at Canterbury by the Canterbury Bulldogs against Parramatta. There's the kickoff. We're underway. 175 times they've played, including tonight, Souths and Easts, 2 of the foundation clubs, and already the bounce of the ball favours Eastern Suburbs.
On an occasion there where the South Sydney players should have been over on the sideline, if you could reach in and touch a football, the ball's deemed to be out on the full. They do win it from the scrum feed. Just not good positional play there to start by the Rabbitohs. They now have to work it out of their own 20.
This is Johnston. Now, hitting it strongly up the middle is Mark Carroll.
Ray, just before we get too far into this game, we don't normally send Cheerios, but a couple we would like to. One to Darren Kleinschafer, a good mate of mine in Gunnedah. And fairly sick. We hope he's back out of hospital for Easter. And of course to Darryl Eastlake. We all wish Darryl the very best. I'm sure he's tuned in, looking for a huge performance from his beloved Eastern Suburbs side. We've had a little discussion up here, Ray, Fatty and myself. Timing has always been very good, Darryl. If you're going to have a heart attack, you may as well have it in front of 5,000 lifesavers.
Yeah, good luck to you, big fella. They say all the news about him is good. Freeman off for Silver, Silver on the halfway mark. O'Dwyer in the 9 shirt. Salvatore put a little bit of a sidestep into his work as he came to the defence line. Now they're 8 metres into South territory. Long lofted pass takes a bit of sting out of the attack. Silver just weights it gently over towards the 20-metre line, and folding back is Maybon. I think this is his position. Rod Maybon, full back. He did well at halfback. I'm not knocking him, but he seems to sit nicely into that number 1 shirt.
Well, I think it was a matter of when Craig Coleman left the club, they didn't have another halfback, and it was just a makeshift position for Maybon. But they've got this young halfback, Craig Field. He can play the game, I'll tell you. He's going to have a big game tonight.
Paul, it'll be interesting. We saw Penrith last week use Greg Alexander between the roles. I wouldn't be surprised to see Maybon come up and take a little bit of pressure off Field, being a novice out there, and give a little bit of direction on both sides of the ruck, so it might be a nice move a la the Penrith club last Friday night.
Appleby it was who played the ball. And Scott Murray is the centre partner of Luke Ricketson in the Eastern Suburbs jumpers tonight. That's Beecraft with that left forearm still very heavily taped. Freeman cuts out a player with a face ball right across for Ricketson, who's brought down 10 metres short of the halfway. Freeman working out of dummy half a lot in the opening exchanges, and that's a very good tackle there. Jason Lowry ran into the shoulder of Peter Johnston. It is not a recommended pastime. Salvatore's kick lollies around in the in goal. Maybon brings it back. He'll make the field of play. They try to pull him back. Ricketson unsuccessful. And this is a shot. So it's been backs to the wall for Souths, really, since they started this one. Brown. That's Craig Field. Diminutive halfback that he is. Rod Silva tries to slice through, but Field was down there. He put everybody on side. Together with Thompson, they made the tackle. This is one of the ringers who's really made an impression in Sydney Rugby League this year. And I'm talking about Appleby, Michael. He's about to play at 40 metres out. Again, a long cutout ball. Gaffey has been running decoys so far tonight. Jason Tassel was the man who played it in the headgear. Now Lowry. He's had an impact in a couple of games. We've seen him play, Lowry, when he's been brought on as a replacement. Beecraft now, slammed down. Garlick was around the legs. Over the top was Johnston. Dummy half is O'Dwyer. That's Freeman. Now the high ball off the boot of Gary Freeman. Maybon goes up. Good take by the little fellow who comes from down in the MIA, the Leeton area. I think he cut his teeth on Australian rules, actually. Sideline, Steve Roach.
Yeah, well, I don't know about South Sydney's kicking game. They've kicked 3 times, they've only made 30 metres. They're putting plenty of pressure on themselves.
I have to admit I'm a little bit surprised that Craig Field is doing the kicking with Manoa Thompson back out there. I think he would be the longer kicker and certainly kicks the ball very high. What a nice situation to be in when you've got 2 kickers in the side. Take pressure off each other.
Field, he's opened them up. There's one to beat. Draws them, passes, but he's been pulled down, Michael Andrews. Field again. Maybon in, first receiver. South Sydney, oh, they bomb it. They head it. Tim Horan gave the final pass. Darren Shott couldn't take it.
Oh, great break by Craig Field. He beat Lowry pointlessly and then looked for support. Unfortunately for South, it was Michael Andrews. A quicker man might have got away. But then the play carried on, and it was the final pass here. Shot, not the best of passes, but a try went beckoning.
Realistically, a pass that should have been taken. I don't know about try went beckoning, but certainly one went begging, Ray. And it would have been a great start. What about the footwork there from Field straight up the centre? As Paul pointed out, he's probably looking for one of his speed men, Horan or
Beecraft.
The fullback, mate, Bond.
Freeman, Lowry. We're 30 metres out now from the eastern suburbs line. And now Gaffey decides to run. This is the last and back for the boot now of Salvatore. Maybon just having to check himself as he was heading off to the sideline. Now back towards centre field, and Salvatore, good work by the big man together with Luke Ricketson. Shot comes away from dummy half. Steamroller run ending at the hands of Gary Freeman. Johnston. Brown standing, offering it, almost pleading with somebody to take it. Minto is with it now. Formerly with the Eastern Suburbs club, John Minto. And a little stabbing kick by Craig Field finds the line. 18 metres out from the line, no score after 7 minutes. So the scrum about to go down. Inside the Eastern Suburbs 20-metre line. Talking of Eastern Suburbs, we'll show you at half-time a try scored in reserve grade by Shane Werrett. You might recall he's the professional sprinter who recently won the Botany Bay Gift. He's one of the fastest men in Australia. He played his 2nd game with East reserve grade tonight, and we'll show you a try that he scored in that encounter. Incredible speed. There's no doubt in my mind who's the fastest man in rugby league now, and you can have Martin O'Fire. Tassel. Beecraft.
A big swinging arm there from Mark Carroll, being inspired a little bit by his front row partner Peter Johnson, who's come up with some great front on defence out there this evening.
Freeman. This is John Minto. Pulled out midway between the 20-metre line.
Been a good start to the game too by Bill Harrigan, hasn't it? Not a penalty in sight yet, and he's let the game flow in the first 10 minutes.
Slattery played the ball, and Darren Brown takes it up. I tell you what, everything that's happening out there has got a touch of desperation about it. Those carrying the ball are running it up with great vigour. There's a lot of enthusiasm in defence. Slattery. Smoke drifting across the stadium.
Going to be from the fireworks at the show.
I hope so. I certainly hope so. Orford. Steve Roach.
Yeah, East up their usual tricks, trying to run out of trouble from dummy half, and they're running into the shoulders of Mark Carroll and Peter Johnson. I don't think it'll work against this South Sydney side.
I thought you might have lit a fire down there on the sidelines to keep yourself warm.
It is that cold too, Rabs.
Brendan Hall wearing the 5/8 jumper tonight. Freeman floating pass across to Salvatore. And now it's Murray. 50 metres out from their own line. It's an arm wrestle at the moment. O'Dwyer plays the ball. Out from dummy half goes Murray. Floats a pass over to Freeman. Doesn't want to throw the hospital pass, so he throws it back on the blind side. Gaffey gave it for Salvatore to put it up. It's really a nothing kick from the big fellow. Beecraft gets a hand to it. South Sydney come away with it through Maybon.
It was a kick that needed to be made by somebody. It was the last tackle. South Sydney come up with good field possession here, but they knock on second tackle. Well, the referee has given 6 again there.
It was definitely touched by an East player, Pete. Yes, he did. Good piece of refereeing by Harrigan. Carroll. 45 out from the line. Field. Across and through from Slattery to Brown. Out wide. Right on the halfway mark. Horan diving into the tackle from Tassel. Garlick. Appleby comes back with it. Well, Souths are inside the 10, but obviously Harrigan felt that they were behind the kicker. Murray. Minto and Thompson wrap him up. Thompson back in this game tonight. He's been, I'm sure, sorely missed by South Sydney. He's one of their better players, and these days one of their veterans. Freeman. Good ball for Tassel. Lovely tackle right around the bootlaces by Donegan. I hope that's how you pronounce it. I'm pretty sure it is. O'Dwyer on the end of a Johnston hurler. Freeman. And there she goes again. Up into the smoky skies, and Maybon again. Stood his ground, let go at the right time, and took on the defenders.
Yeah, to give a little bit of credit as well, Ray, to Darren Schott, who gave him good protection there. He actually ends up getting taken out, but stands up to take the next run. So good work there, communication between the fullback and the wingers. As Eastern Suburbs come up with the ball now, through Jason Tassel, they go wide straight away.
Gaffey with a bit of a juggle, but able to get it away. Silver, Freeman, now Lowry across for Salvatore. Salvatore puts on the fend, looks for a player inside, finds Orford. Orford's 20 metres out, pulled down. Good play, Eastern Suburbs. Good play, Salvatore. Knock on Freeman. Gary won't be happy with that.
They were looking very, very good, Eastern. They got some ball. They haven't had much possession. They've gone back to the old tactic of the midfield bomb, the Eastern Suburbs side. Hasn't really worked at this stage for them, but a big tackle there a few minutes ago, got the ball back, and then Salvatore put the foot down and created something for the Roosters, but the knock-on let them down badly.
This is Darren Brown now. Carroll. I tell you what, Carroll's partner in crime out there, Big Peter Johnston, he's pulled off some real strong tackles. They've been tackles that hurt.
It's been a great battle between the two sets of front rowers. Jason Lowry's come up with some Nice shots as well, and the running game of Salvatore is already proving a problem for South Sydney. So the four front rowers out there really leading the way for their respective sides.
Here's one of them now. Lowry, Freeman, Ricketson. He's got Salvatore outside, Freeman inside. It goes to the ladder. He puts it on the chest of Orford. No, it's Silva. Silva's 25 out and pulled down. Orford was with him. Orford's the dummy half. Salvatore runs the blind, gets away from Brown, puts it onto Silva's chest. Silva can't step the fullback. Pull down 5 metres out. Here they come, the Roosters. Brendan Hall's pass is long. It's gone out there and across from Gaffey, and Appleby will put it down. Appleby puts it down, and the Roosters grab the first points.
Yeah, nice football with the Roosters. Perfect football there. They took it down one side. Silva was prominent, made a couple of great busts. Couldn't get there himself. A nice quick play the ball. Had the big line set out to the left, and from then on, a matter of quick hands. South no defence at all. See, they're caught very, very short out here, and just quick hands from Gaffey. And in the end, it was Appleby over in the corner, mid-O caught out.
Yes, I thought Rod Silva was probably allowed to play the football a little bit too quickly. Rod Maybon came up with the tackle, and it was just weight of numbers out wide. They had an enormous overlap. And we'll see the winger as we have a look at it from the wide shot. Here's the play, the wide pass now. As we freeze it, there is the South Sydney player who is the widest defender. We've got two players out here in Appleby and Murray as play continues on. It's just a matter of this player, Gaffey, drawing his man. Probably should a little bit early, but he had great numbers out there, Appleby. Across, but he was allowed to play the ball, Paul, very quickly.
Well, there was no marker there, and Silva actually could have tapped it forward himself if he had wanted to, but did the right thing. Nice quick play, the ball away they went. And South's defence really had no time to adjust. That was the bottom line.
Brendan Hall will attempt conversion of the Michael Appleby try from 22 metres out, 2 metres in from touch. 7 goals for the year, Brendan Hall. Been a great stalwart of the Eastern Suburbs club, this young man. Strikes it. It's coming around gently, but not fast enough. No conversion, no addition. 4-0. East over Souths in Friday night football. "16 minutes gone. And the fireworks at the adjacent Royal Easter Show. And Blocker is on the sideline.
Yeah, I know that try was scored by Appleby in the left-hand corner, but it's Craig Salvatore who's causing most of the troubles out wide. He's made 3 or 4 incisive runs.
Here's Minto getting away for South Sydney. He stepped between the defence, takes it 10 metres out. Pulled down by Silva. Brown's the dummy half. That should be a penalty. I think he might be playing the advantage, is he? No, he's not. Brown is held. No penalty given. Now away. Garlick. He thinks he can do it himself. 2 metres out from the line. The Rabbits coming back now. Trailing 4-0. Field away. Brown juggles. That takes the momentum away. Still able to get it away. Thompson's with the ball. 10 metres out from the line and crashed down. Souths, I feel, should have got a penalty back there, right in front of the uprights. Now, Andrews. 11 out. This is the last. Away from Doniger. Field hulls it back, throws an awful pass. Garlick recovers, drops it onto the boot, but it'll go over the dead ball line and back to the 22 for the restart.
Big flurry there from South Sydney. Great tackle from Peter Johnson, gave him the football, forced the ball out. And we saw a couple of try-saving tackles. This one from Dennis Beecraft, a beauty on Sean Garlick. And from that resulting play, they tried to keep the ball alive. In the end, a bad kick put in by that man, Sean Garlick. It's amazing how many times when you score a try, you're vulnerable straight away. Whether you relax a little bit or just your concentration goes with the relief of scoring. South Sydney certainly hit back immediately.
Just getting back to that point that I made about I'm of the belief it should have been a South penalty. Had it been last Friday night's referee, dead set it's a penalty right in front.
Well, here's going to be a penalty here against Peter Johnson. You see some blood on the face of Brendan Hall. Johnson hit him with a swinging arm. I thought it looked fairly accidental. What do you think, Paul?
Well, he's one of those typical Johnston tackle where he came in like a bull of the gate, 1,000,000 miles an hour, but he has collected him in the north and south there, and Might have loosened a couple of teeth there. You know, you can see he didn't really mean to go around the head. He wasn't even looking where he was going, but he's got to be a bit more careful.
Well, let's go to the sidelines. Steve, you're sitting right on top of that.
Yeah, that was right in front of me. I think that loosened a few teeth, but Brendan Hall seemed to bend a bit. I don't know if Johnson meant to hit him that high.
I think the important thing was the fact that Johnson, as you say, wasn't even looking at the player. He had his head down. He was already driving. He just had the arm hung out. You see that? Look at his head. He's already diving into the tackle, and he takes all high. I think the penalty was sufficient, and it does take Eastern Suburbs to 35 metres out from the South's line.
But there you go, 20 minutes into the game, the first penalty.
Appleby, try scorer, only one on the game so far. Gee, this fellow's impressed me. Every time I've seen him, Jason Tassel, he's one of those real workers. The type that Jack Gibson, well, he doesn't go out and find them necessarily, but he demands of his players that there's got to be a couple of them in the team.
He cut his teeth in the game, mainly as a big hitter and a big defender, but his ball running has really improved.
I see that Casato is out there in fifth. Oh, Johnston! Oh, that's a gasser of a tackle. Oh, Lowry knows he's been tackled, but he bounced up. Now, raked away by Eastern Suburbs. Gaffey's with it, tries to feed it out the back. Thompson grabs it.
Well, these kind of players in the game, make sure that you're looking for them. It was a great front-on tackle from Peter Johnson. Steve Roach, they don't come much better than that. That was straight out of the textbook.
That was a pearler, but Jason Laurie just sort of going half pie into the run. I mean, he's setting himself up for a big hit.
You think he came out quicker than he went in?
He certainly did, Pete.
Carroll plays it. Garlick gives it. Johnston runs it. I reckon they'll be around him, like bees to a honeypot. Three of them in there. Casato, Salvatore, Beecraft. Now, Craig Field it is again with the kicking duties tonight. Doesn't get the length that Manoa Thompson gets, but the point is that you're onto the boot and you're down the ground quicker by putting it to the first receiver for the kick than going through two sets of hands. Now, Silva has brought the attention of the touch judge in this tackle.
Darren Brown, the man who's been called out for something that happened in the tackle. Silva received the ball from the field kick and then took it up. Made a half-by bust. Brown came at him and drags him down on the tackle. And from then on, something must have happened. The touch judge couldn't wait to get in there.
He's got him for the swinging arm, the high one.
Oh, there it is, a forearm. Half-by forearm. And silly play from Brown, who's very experienced in the game. They've got the opposition in their own 20-metre zone. And sideline comment, Steve Roach.
Yeah, that was a fair enough penalty, Fatty. He got him high first off and then down with the right-hand forearm.
Again, though, I think we all agree the penalty is sufficient. Beecraft, he takes the kick for line. Appleby. O'Dwyer, Casato. Casato, he's been to plenty of clubs, Parramatta for one, West's another, but he slotted in nicely here at Eastern Suburbs. Former outstanding junior footballer. Here he is with the ball now in those conspicuous cycle shorts. 28 out from the south line. Freeman, Tassel, 30 metres out now. This is the last. Freeman, the playmaker, with it. Salvatore turns it in immaculately for Silva. He gets it back inside, and Harrigan says turn it over.
Yeah, there's a great tackle there by Doniger on Beecraft there, virtually saved the try. Great cover defence by him, and now a penalty to the Rabbits. They get there first.
Beecraft is still getting up, as you can see. That was a real big hit. This was the play.
Nice ball from Salvatore. You can see Silva looming on the inside. Big gap there, which he goes through. Another pass here. And watch Doniger come on Beecraft here. That's a great tackle, a real rib tickler.
Keeping the ball alive on the last tackle there. That's a great tackle. Harry Freeman picking up. He was actually penalised in the next play from getting out of marker too quickly. We now find South Sydney get outside their 20-metre area, courtesy of that penalty kick.
Beecraft is being assisted to the bench, and going on is 54. I think that's Ward. In 54. It is, and this is Andrews. 4 points to 0. And with the exception of that scoreline in their second round clash last year, won by East 56-16, this is being played in the true tradition of two of the foundation clubs, East and South. A real grind, and Brown did well. Slattery does better, floats it into the middle. Called back by Harrigan, unfortunately for the Rabbits.
A lovely piece of play by South Sydney. Darren Brown putting the little one over. Taken on the full by Troy Slattery. Just couldn't get a ball to his support player, and in the end threw it forward across the face of all the players there. Nice little kick, was meant for himself, but Slattery on the outside came up with. Appleby decided to stay with his man. Good work there from Salvatore and Ward getting across there in cover defence. They did well, the forwards, to get back and chase.
Just on Darren Brown, Paul, for a big man, he's got all the skills, hasn't he?
Very skillful player. He played, when he was at Canterbury, he played a lot of his football in the 5'8" position. And probably not the fastest 5'8" going around, but very skillful. And he's carrying that on now in the second row with the South Sydney club.
He's a bit deceptive with his speed as well. I think he's a lot quicker than what he looks. Fairly big man, but gets across the ground nicely.
Something like our sideline eye, Stephen Roach.
I don't know about that, but Mark Carroll's just about to come off. Mark Lyons, who is just about to come on for him, is a very good ball runner. Well, South need to score next.
There's plenty of exchanging and shuffling of personnel, Steve, but that doesn't surprise me. As I said earlier, this match is being played with a hell of a lot of intensity, and there's some big hits out there.
Yeah, well, it's a local derby, isn't it? So there's always going to be big hits in this one.
Appleby comes in from his left wing, is able to bump away via the hip. Brendan Hall promotes, then pushes the ball on for Murray, who steps inside and gets away and takes it inside the 30 and the 20. I think he's going to make it. No! Oh, great tackle!
Tim Horan.
Tim Horan! That's a great tackle. Freeman. Ward. They've got to promote left and fast. I think they've done it. I think they had the opportunity and didn't use it. O'Dwyer. Pulled down by Shot. Orford. O'Dwyer. Freeman. Hall. Now the decoy runner and Salvatore pushes it on for Gaffey. Gaffey stands. Can he pop it? He does. Ricketson intercepted by Johnston for South.
At least dead set. They wasted a try there. 3 tackles. They mucked around in that play the ball area. The ball should have come wide 3 tackles ago. They finally did. Made some good ground. Some good cutout passes being thrown here. And the final pass here goes to Stray. And Johnston, the man on hand, is having a big game.
There's no doubt they should have gone after they'd made the initial bust. They had to go straight away. They had a 4 or 5 man overlap. Colin Ward got involved and he took the ball forward off a short Gary Freeman pass. South Sydney again, now looking to come out of their own area. It's the last tackle. They've spent a lot of time down their own end of the field. Decide to run it this time. Slattery's got Minto on the outside. A bad pass.
Minto is very fast. Knocked down by Brown, so it'll be a turnover. That's the end of the count.
Good option there from South Sydney, but the passing wasn't that effective. This pass here meant that Minto had to stop and catch it. He's got enormous speed. That was Nigel Gaffey who came up with a good tackle, the final pass going astray, but nice work by South Sydney, just the execution wasn't as well as they'd have liked.
Tassel ran up the wall and almost came out the other side. O'Dwyer. Salvatore's on his outside, but the young hooker who went bush trying to get a go in rugby league to Parks. Oh, another big tackle by Johnston. This is Jeff Orford, 20 metres up. And young O'Dwyer did that and it paid off for him. He's back with Eastern Suburbs. And with the number 9 at the moment, Salvatore's bomb. Maybon doesn't come down with it. This time it's a penalty. Shot has been ruled offside.
Eastern Suburbs continuing to put the ball up in the air. Rod Maybon, not the biggest fullback in the world. On that occasion, wasn't able to get there. Darren Shot, his wingman, He's in front of him with the ball rebounding off Maybon's hands, and Eastern Suburbs, see, they've spent a long time down here, taking the ball out outside the 10-metre line. They're looking for 6.
Freeman, Dwyer, just the one-run round. That takes us to the centre of the park. That's what they're trying to achieve. Now they come on through Hall, Freeman. Now Lowry. Lowry's within 5. Pops it back for O'Dwyer. He stands and gets it away. Great ball. Gaffey on. Now Murray. Murray held with the line in sight. Ricketson a dummy half. Across for Freeman. A diving catch. Freeman comes back to the blind. He had to. Murray a dummy half. Appleby looking for his second, but he's 2 metres out. Appleby tempted. This could be a penalty try. Has he put a hand on it? If he hasn't, it could be a penalty try. Watch it. He's given the try. He's given the try straight up. Scored by Appleby, his second. South's defence here. It fell apart. I thought it may have to be a penalty try. See that? They held him back off it.
Well, he actually never got his hand to that ball, so it wasn't a try, but he's given the try anyway. No signal of a penalty try, but it looks to me like Appleby doesn't actually get his hand on this football. Here he goes now, looking to get it, never gets near the thing.
Well,
Never
the rule
forced it.
quite definitely says that the ball will be forced with downward pressure.
Once again, Harrigan did the right thing, went to his in-goal touch judge, who had a case of the noddies, nodded his head and said, yeah, fair try, but he's been given a fair try. In actual fact, would have been a penalty try anyway.
Yeah, he's just come short of the ball and propelled it forward, but didn't get downward pressure. Manoa Thompson, the marker, standing much too upright there. Didn't get down low enough. And Appleby had the presence of mind to actually kick it through the legs of Manoa Thompson. And as Ray and Paul have pointed out, didn't get the ball down, but it would have been a penalty try. And Brendan Hall looking to convert from wide out, extend this lead.
Well, to put it in simple language, Bill Harrigan has got a bad call from the in-goal judge, and Harrigan would have been far better off, I'm sure, awarding the penalty try on his own sight of what happened. Brendan Hall's kick from the sideline is a corker. Eastern Suburbs leading South 10-0 after 31. Come back to us now. Restart by South Sydney, and that try coming on them just 9 minutes from half-time. Steve Roach on the sidelines.
Another player had a very fine start of the season. Matt Fuller, a very good running player, has taken the place of Jeremy Donoghue.
Ward. What's the report on Beecraft, Steve? If you haven't got one, can you come back? He looked very groggy as he left the field.
Well, Ray, he's up there and he's stretching up now and doing a bit warm-up. I think he's all right, mate. He's just had to clear his head.
Okay.
The salts do wonders.
Brendan Hall stands, waits, finds Silva. Great play. Turned inside. Here's this Gaffey man again. And Tassel was backing up, doing his job, but Maybon was there to clean up. I tell you what, I can't think of an attacking raid. There probably has been, but not too many that Gaffey's name hasn't been mentioned.
Now, he's obviously been given a free rein, locked forward by Coach Mark Murray. He's just hanging around, looming on the inside here and there. And the South defence is a bit dusty out wide, plenty of gaps out there. And there he is backing up on the inside, having a fine game.
There might be some more gaps out there for South Sydney as well. In that movement, Peter Johnson dived to make a tackle and went straight to clutch his knee as South Sydney keeper like Manoa Thompson throws the ball back inside. They take from Fuller, but Peter Johnson in all sorts of trouble out there. I saw his hands go straight to the knee. He seemed to land awkwardly on it. Steve Roach again down in front of you. Peter Johnson.
Yeah, it
looks like he'll be coming off.
Yeah, it doesn't look real good. They've called a stretcher. He's clutching his knee. We'll find out some more information, Pete, and we'll get right back to you
Shortly.
He was never going to miss that opportunity.
Got to give him the blood.
I thought for a moment when that smoke started filtering across the park that you'd started early yourself.
The Barbie.
Well, that's a big loss for South, isn't it? Individually, the defensive work of Peter Johnson that first 30 minutes has been outstanding.
Well, he's done 14 tackles and leads the way for them, and they've all been crunches.
That's right, they've been quality tackles, haven't they? Carroll it is that plays the ball for South. Field works on the blind side and he puts the bomb in the air. Now Rod Silver, a test that came off the hands, though, of one of the South players. Slattery is grounded. Mark Lyons is the South player in jumper number 40. This is Ricketson. Oh, gee, I tell you what, it's been a crackerjack game. As far as speed is concerned, it's gone from one end of the park to the other. Some tremendous ball work. And East's, they're not the sort of side that you go through the turnstiles expecting them to throw it around as much as they have in the early part of their work. But tonight, it's been in contrast to other matches we've seen them in. Ward. Salvatore turns it. Silva back for Ward. Pops it down for Lowry. Lowry's wrapped up, but not well enough. And O'Dwyer, it is, gets the shot in. And it bounces down towards the 10-metre line, crosses the sideline. And that'll see a scrum, will it? Or is it turnover time 12 metres out? 10-0 after 35. Good Friday night. And Rugby League coming to you on the wide world of sports. Sounds strange, isn't it? Rugby League on Good Friday, but here we are. Controversial decision, really, I think fair to say, and there was some thought that a few of these players may opt not to play in the game.
I thought that was a good thing by the Eastern Suburbs management to give the players the choice. If it went against their beliefs or convictions at all, they had the choice of pulling out of this particular match, and I think the players would certainly have appreciated that offer made by the men in charge at the Eastern Suburbs Club.
Mark Carroll. He's now got a much bigger job than he had a few moments ago, with Peter Johnston gone for the night. Silva. Oh, gee, I don't know whether that was necessary from Darren Brown. Appleby. Salvatore. Murray. Ricketson. O'Dwyer for Freeman. Now Salvatore is cut out. Ward has been busy since he got out there. That's him about to play it. Jeff Orford over on that right wing. He's been overshadowed by the less illustrious winger on the left, young Appleby, but most of the players come Appleby's way. Freeman. Brendan Hall chips for a chase on himself, and it's cleaned up by Andrew. This is John Minto.
He's looked dangerous on occasions, Minto. He's got plenty of speed, a former Eastern Suburbs player, as a matter of fact. Played a lot of under-23 and reserve grade football with him before switching to South last year.
Talking of speed, I mentioned earlier, Paul, that Steve Werrett scored a try in reserve grade, his second rugby league game with the Roosters. I'll show you that try in the half-time break. Now the run around, Slattery's ball goes to ground. Shock tries to clean up, does it. O'Dwyer wraps him up with Orford. 5 gone now for the Rabbits. Field steps inside and beats Ward easily. Now it's back for Lyons, away for Garlick, fed on for Brown, pushed on for Maybon. Maybon's got Minto on his outside. He was crying for him to come in field. Silva takes it on the full. It was a slips catch. Comes outside the 20, reaches the 30, and pulled down by Carroll and Garlick.
Oh, isn't this a great game of football? Plenty of excitement, open field running, it's a beauty.
Ward plays it. And just looking at Minto.
He was looking for a better kick than that one, but Rocket Silva, he's carving up tonight from the fullback position. Give him, you know, an inch and he'll take 10 miles. I
do think Maybon was calling for Minto to come inside, and if John Minto did something wrong, that's what he did. Murray. Very close to half-time, about 2.5 minutes. 10-0 the score in favour of Eastern Suburbs. Ball rolling around in no man's land, picked up by Rod Maybon. He's been strong for South tonight. I've never seen him have a bad game, tell you the truth. nothing of him, but he's a classy little player. Slattery. Big Manoa Thompson doing a dipsy doodle in the back play. Carroll ran into the shoulder of Tassel. Strong stuff there by Tassel and by O'Dwyer. Field with a little pass off for Lyons. You can almost feel these tackles tonight. Every time these two get together, they show a great dislike for each other. You're closer to it than me, Blocker. Is that the way it's coming across, sitting down there on the sideline?
Yeah, it certainly is. It looks like there's a few players are a bit dirty on each other, but I will say, Ray, that it has been pretty clean. The high tackles that have happened, blokes have fallen into.
Oh, yeah, look, nothing wrong with that, but the rule book says that there's a penalty, and that's as much as Bill Harrigan's given, and as far as I'm concerned, that's fine.
Yeah, it's a great game of football, fast and open.
I think we all agreed a couple of blokes have been sent off that shouldn't have been sent off, but that's going to happen when you're dealing with the human being. O'Dwyer plays it 20 metres out. 10-0 in favour of East. Good ball by Big Sal, finding Freeman. 5 gone. They'll clear now off Salvatore's boot. Did it come off a South Sydney player? Yes, it did, says the referee. Maybon brings it back. Orford was able to come inside the 10. He was offside. He was in front of Salvatore, but once it hit a South Sydney player, it was all hands on deck. Shot is tackled right on the halfway mark. Talking of halfway, that's where we are, bar 40 seconds. Now, Garlick, 38, out from the Eastern Suburbs line. This will be a penalty to South Sydney. Against Lowry, not clearing the play-the-ball area.
I'm just wondering if Souths will try and get some points on the board here. It's not the easiest of goal kicks, but yeah, well, the East player made no attempt to get up and get out of the play-the-ball area.
And just while Souths are preparing to take this penalty, a reminder that the Rugby League show on Sunday starts this Sunday, an hour of it from midday till 1 with the fat fella, Sterlo, Blocker and the Moose.
The Moose is back, and we're going to have a lot of fun with the show between 12 and 1. We'll have a reviews and previews and controversy corner type discussions, and even a chance for some lucky viewer to win $1,000 with a phone-in poll.
It's coming up on Sunday. It's the old-fashioned controversy corner, revisited. Rex Mossop, Paul Vaughton, Peter Sterling, Steve Roach, you name them, they've got them. Here's the attempted penalty by Craig Field, short. Appleby, a dual try-scorer, brings it back, takes the tackle, and there it is, half-time. Eastern Suburbs leading Souths 10-0 after 40 minutes, and I'll tell you what, they've been exciting minutes of rugby league. I've enjoyed them. I hope you have too. We'll be back with Peter Sterling. He'll have a look at what's happened in just a moment. You're watching Friday Night Football on the 9 Network. Souths, they've got plenty of work to do. Let's have a look at the stats. Here's Sterling.
Well, all the statistics favouring the Eastern Suburbs side there. They've had plenty of time with the ball, 23 times up against 18. Total tackles against South Sydney. Missed tackles, a whopping 19. That's way too many in one half of football. Probably the big difference is the line breaks. Certainly the Roosters much more adept at getting through the opposition line. 6-3, 2-1. Really no coincidence that they are leading on the scoreboard 10 points to 0.
You puffing, Peter? Or?
Mate, I've just run up and downstairs. There's Bill Harrigan about to get things underway, Paul.
Let's go down to Blocker on the sideline.
Well, Mark Murray in the Eastern Suburbs room, very happy with his charges. He said that they came here tonight and everyone expected them to win. He's very happy with the 10-0 lead. He says if they score next, the floodgates will open. In the South Sydney room, they're just trying to score off every pass. If they can hang on to the ball for 6 tackles, they'll get back into this game. They've got to improve their kicking game, lift in the fence, now that Peter Johnson's off. And the Johnson injury is a knee injury, but it's not as bad as first thought.
I don't think Souths are out of the game by any stretch of the imagination. They haven't played too badly and probably don't deserve to be 10 points down. I still give them a hope, but they must score first, of course. They must get a try on the board pretty soon.
You footy tab punters, we've got coming through from TAB headquarters some approximates on Pick the Score. I'll give them to you in the next couple of minutes. So if you've got a Pick the Score footy tab running, I can give you some of the combinations and what it might pay or what it will pay according to the approximates from Footy Tab just a few minutes ago. That's coming off the facsimile as we speak. Tassel just chipping, and then the South player doing amazingly well to stay in the field of play. Darren Shott.
Well, how he stayed in there is amazing. Looked like he was going to be taken over the sideline. That would have been a big play. Another set of 6 for the Roosters. He swung the legs around and stayed just in. South with the football now, attacking 40 out in their own line, but they've lost that ball. Darren Brown trying to grab the ball way out in front of him, couldn't do so.
Just a reminder, talking of Footy Tab, that if you want to invest on who's going to win the 1993 Winfield Cup, that form of betting closes at 3 p.m. tomorrow. The favourites were Brisbane this afternoon, paying $4.40. Second favourite was Canterbury at approximately $5, and St George at about $5.60. Now Gaffey, 30 metres out from the line. Freeman, floating pass out for Ward. He's been on the field since Beecraft left us earlier. Freeman waits for Brendan Hall. He gallops into space, but he's pulled down.
Great tackle, Maybon.
Now it's away with O'Dwyer. Play back. Did he play it properly? Hall away. Gaffey steps off his right twice. Takes on the defence and he's put down. 5 gone. Tassel. Freeman. Freeman taken late, was he? South clean up in goal. Harrigan says no offence on Freeman. Line drop out.
It looked like there was a ricochet there somewhere that almost favoured Eastern Suburbs. Ball stopping up quickly, and Rod Maybon has done great work on 2 occasions. Firstly coming up with the try saver, and that time stopping Eastern Suburbs from grounding the ball under the posts. It is a drop out now, so he's back in attack straight away. Rod Silver takes it out, hands off to Salvatore.
Eastern Suburbs skipper, he's had a fine game. That ball was knocked down. I thought he may have ruled that it was knocked down by a South player, therefore he would have nullified the tackle count. He didn't do that. So he's ruled that Salvatore lost it straight up. Lowry, 20 metres out from the line. 10-0 in favour of Eastern Suburbs, and the last thing South need is for them to score again. And here's Freeman flicking it back into the field of play. That came off the legs of Darren Brown. That should be play on. Harrigan saw it that way and ruled as such. Good refereeing by Harrigan. Shot.
This is excellent refereeing. Gary Freeman getting the ball back in. Pursuit come off the legs there. Darren Brown, he dives on the football.
From field through Maybon to Thompson. And now it's out with Slattery. Slattery's bundled into the ground by Ward and by Murray. They're 25 out from their own line. Manoa Thompson forced back. If this score stayed the same, you punters, pick the score would pay $688.45. It is 10-0 at the moment. If it went to 11-0, can you believe it'll pay $22,000?
This has been great football by Eastern Suburbs. Their defence has just kept coming up and coming up. Put South under pressure. Now they've got the pill.
Freeman away, switching the point of the attack for Ricketson.
You'd think South would have to crack here. They've been under so much pressure as Ward goes out of dummy half. Look like they've been going to score on 2 or 3 occasions. This is their best chance.
Freeman. Lowry takes on the defence, but they've knocked it on. This is the advantage. It'll be the scrum now. Thought Souths were going to come up with possession, but it's a scrum.
Yeah, interesting to see what happens here. There you see Lowry getting the ball out. Well, it was touched there by Brendan Hall. He wasn't taken out early by Fuller. And the ball lying around there to be taken. Finally, South come up with it. They've done a marvellous job to keep their line intact in the first 6 minutes of this second half.
Souths taking it out from inside their own 20-metre zone. That's Fuller. Garlick had Carroll galloping on his outside. Lions. Salvatore, he hasn't let your prediction down, Steve Roach.
No, he started off the second half in a fine flurry.
Oh, here's a chance for East now. The hooker. O'Dwyer pulled down 20 metres out. Souths just starting to get their line together, but they've got a player down injured. They're understaffed as Hall floats it out. That's Murray. Appleby's already scored 2. Murray, 5 metres out from the line. Appleby throws the dummy, decides to do it himself, and he goes in over that touchline, so that's a bad blue by Michael Appleby.
Well, once again, East, there's been some pretty gritty plays in there. You've got to say it. They've taken 3 or 4 rucks from dummy half once again, trying to get over that line when the ball should have been spun out wide, because the South defence out wide is very ordinary.
Not the first time in the match that it's happened either, Paul.
Well, I don't know if the South defence is ordinary, but they're not there in numbers, are they, Paul? They slid well on that occasion.
No, there's chances out there if they do spin it.
Fuller. Not much of him, but really taking it up to the defence line. That's Lyons. Just a couple more of those approximates for you punters. 11-0 in favour of East would be 22,000. 12-0, $647. 13-0, $3,100. And 14-0, $550.
What about if it's 36 all, Rabs? You got that one there?
No, I haven't. You know I haven't.
Can you ring up and find out for us?
Gaffey. Orford. Freeman. Wide for Ward, tries to fend off Slattery, but strong young lad, this fellow Slattery. He's hard to get rid of. Now Lowry promotes for Salvatore, and he's grasped there by Manoa Thompson. Lowry is hurt in the back play for Eastern Suburbs. Freeman goes to the air. Here comes Maybon. The little fella can't get a shot at it, and Thompson comes down with the ball, and it's a penalty to South.
All those East players in front of the kicker, as Bill Harrigan has ruled. Not back to 10 metres. The Souths get the relieving penalty. They've been camped here for the last 10 minutes. They've done extremely well to hold out East.
Well, they actually were onside. Gary Freeman got through in front of all his players right at the death there. South Sydney certainly needed that break. Everything in this second half, the first 10 minutes has been against them. If they can take this next play across the 50-metre line, it'll be the first time they've been in Eastern Suburbs territory just about that period of time. And he didn't get there.
Matthew Fuller. Steve Roach on the sidelines.
Yeah, it has been good defence from South, but unfortunately tonight Gary Freeman isn't controlling the game as good as he usually does.
Now Horan delivers it for Brown. Onward it goes for Maybon. Maybon puts the foot down. Gary Freeman says, I'll hitch a ride with you. 35 metres out from the east line. Field. Back and around. Now he promotes Thompson, the big fella. 10 metres out. No support. Horan, penalty to East. Oh, Manoa Thompson hasn't played the ball properly.
Well, if we can have a quick look at this, let's just see if he didn't have much help there. Rod Silver lying all over him. Well, it is a bad play of the ball. I don't think he was pushed by an Eastern Suburbs player. But what about the pass from Craig Field?
Unbelievable. What a great pass. Here it is here. He draws in the defence and round the corner, popped it up. And Thompson, unfortunately for him, no support at all. One more player is all South needed. They would have got their first try on the board. Now East get the relieving penalty.
Young number 9. O'Dwyer taking the tap. Oh, gee, that hurt. Salvatore bounces up, has a bit of a look at them and smiles. Above the pain, inside, Ward plays the ball. Bouncing around, knocked on by Brendan Hall. Now that could be a penalty. I think Thompson's been tackled without the ball. Harrigan doesn't see it that way.
Those real Eastern Suburbs knocking on there. A bad pass out of dummy half put pressure on the outside men for the Roosters. Noah Thompson trying to tow it through here.
Well, watch this. Now, is he tackled?
No, I don't think so. He turned around, he tripped over the Eastern Suburbs player who was also trying to turn.
Yeah, I'm with you, Sterler.
I didn't expect you to go with me. 30 metres out. Field plays the ball. There's a Rooster down injured. Field does some light stepping, but Lowry is able to bring him down. Garlick, short ball up for Carroll. Carroll's made some good yards in the second half. Now they're 12 metres out from the Eastern Suburbs line. They haven't been over it so far tonight. Slattery, he's pulled down. Salvatore's tackle was a beauty. Now Garlick floats it out for Brown. Brown wrapped up and put down by O'Dwyer and Tassel. They're still 8 metres out. Well, Harrigan's going to give a penalty here. This time it goes to Souths.
Interference in the play of the ball. I actually thought that Darren Brown dropped the ball cold, but Harrigan has seen an indiscretion there and a quick tap take.
Oh, Carroll's run into the shoulder of Tassel. That hurt the big bloke. In fact, he's put in a sloppy play the ball.
Oh, he's crook in the
He's
background,
gone.
Mike Carroll. That was a great shot from Tassel. We've seen some of the best hits in games you'll ever see. Peter Johnson not there. Look at that one. That is a great shot.
Big Carroll's walking around in the back play. He's in Disneyland, Mark. Ward. O'Dwyer gets between the markers. Andrews was able to put him back. Silver can't handle. South's come up with it, but Harrigan is ruling a knock-on against both sides.
On the fifth tackle, I suppose, they had to try and get the kick in, but now South, some sloppy passing here, desperation passing, I suppose you could call it, bit of basketball, and now Thompson tries to get through.
Down to the 20-metre line goes Manoa Thompson. Garlick the dummy half. Maybon comes in from fullback. Pulled down, desperate stuff. Gaffey and O'Dwyer. Now from Garlick, he's pulled down again by O'Dwyer. Plays it back for Field. The little fella looks for it. Oh, he's straight through! He's straight through! Good play by the little number 7. He sussed it out. Did some light stepping and went straight through them.
He's been their best player tonight, Craig Field, in his third first-grade game. Only made his debut a few weeks ago. Did it all himself from dummy half, some slack marker play and some pretty ordinary defence. There's plenty of numbers there, 4 or 5 East players, but he walked straight through.
He's certainly been the most incisive of the South Sydney players, but one Eastern Suburbs player was still down on the ground and they didn't get their 2 markers there, and that's always going to be a problem, especially 10 metres out. Here we see him going out the dummy half area, some ordinary defence there from Eastern Suburbs. They started to look fairly tight in defence there. Let's go back to the last tackle with East trying to keep the ball alive. They didn't get a kick away. That meant they handed the ball over to the Rabbitohs within their half of the field, and they paid the penalty.
This is the try scorer, attempting conversion. Big pair of shoes for him. Craig Field. Craig Coleman, he's not an easy player to replace, as Tony Casado gets some last-minute instructions from his coach. And Craig Field is 22 metres out. Down low and away. No goal. 10 points to 4 now in Friday night football. East's in front of South. And we welcome you back. Don't forget, Sunday, 12 noon till 1 o'clock. They get together. Vorton, Sterling, Roach, Miles out of Brisbane, I think. And of course, the big fella, the Moose, is back on Sunday. They're going to throw some rugby league around for you, and I'm sure it'll be entertaining between 12 and 1 on Sunday. Then Sunday night, of course, we've got the West's Illawarra edited highlights. And Monday night, we do it all again at 8:30 with Canterbury versus Parramatta. And a big promotion down there by Peter Moore at Canterbury on Monday. Matthew Fuller plays the ball. Maben goes away. And handy yards. Garlick. Thompson. That's the sort of kick that we've come to expect from the South. Oh, Appleby lost it. That's a knock on. That's good play from a South Sydney viewpoint.
Well, the ball's swirling around there, can't be easy to take, and Manoa Thompson certainly got plenty of height in the kick. Appleby didn't get in good position to catch it, and he come up with 2 knock-ons there. More importantly, a South Sydney scrum feed 38 metres out, trailing by 6 on the board, and they are on a roll.
Slattery, long pass out for Thompson, shows it. Now it's knocked down, and away goes Maybon, but he's pulled up. 5 metres into East Territory, played by the fullback. Shot.
It's on again. Jason Tassel. Well, Mark Carroll has just hit him again with a beauty front on. Michael Andrews for most of football. Great defence, this very high standard defensive game.
Brown finds Thompson, but he lost his footing. 28 metres out from the line. South Sydney clawing back into this one. Field again dances into traffic, puts it down. Tassel is the man that's delivered those 2 blows to Carroll. Legitimate stuff.
Well,
now Carroll comes back, but Tassel in the back play is down very groggy, Pete.
Well, Colin Ward felt the wrath of Mark Carroll there, who should be in the blood bin very shortly. Man more renowned for giving than taking as Nigel Gaffey makes good ground, 48 out from his own line. The Roosters now go blindside again. That's Dwyer, I think, the hooker taking yards. Or it's Salvatore, I'm sorry, 40 out.
O'Dwyer's pass is a horror. Across to Freeman. Long ball for Brendan Hall. We needed quick hands from Tassel. Well, he was down very groggy 1 second ago. He's done magnificently to get back into the play. Appleby now to play the ball.
It's the last tackle, South. Get a change over again. Eastern Suburbs looking to keep the ball alive on the last, and they've handed over to the opposition. The game really flowing from end to end.
Huge crowd here at the stadium. Probably I've underestimated when I said to you 20. Maybon. 20,000. Wake up yourself. 20,000. Lions.
Didn't say a word. I just like the way it's gone from 15 to 20 in a matter of moments.
Field. Silva cleans up. Shot cleans him up. Good passage of play for the Rabbits.
And allowed a quick play the ball, which was good play from Shot again. That's 2 tackles. We've still got some Eastern Suburbs players 30 metres away, still coming back on side.
It was a great chase there by Shot, wasn't it? Just he fired right up and away he went and got Silva just as he was getting the ball.
Casado got under the tackle of Carroll. Carroll's got claret coming from either a nose wound or a mouth wound. We'll get a close-up and see whether or not he should be in the bin, but I'm pretty sure he should.
Yeah, it's coming out of the nose. I'm sure that Bill Harrigan will see it shortly. As on the last tackle, Salvatore drives the ball down straight to Rod Maybon on the bounce. He's had a very good second half. Rod Maybon has run the football very, very well. Taken front on there from Brendan Hall, and again another top tackle.
Gee, I thought his first half was all right. Fuller.
I'm not saying that it wasn't, but he just had the ball more to run in this second half, Ray, and I think he's really come into his own even more so.
Roche, are you there? Steve? Appleby takes it back on his 20-metre line. Wrapped up by Slattery. Now Murray. Been played at the crackerjack pace, Paul, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's great. It makes you wonder the last 20 minutes players will start to get tired, and the use of reserves will come into fruition here.
Tassel. Now, Steve, you're back with me.
Sideline 2.
Yeah, Souths have really improved in this second half since Rod Maybon and Craig Field especially have been running from dummy half. And Ray, there's going to be a couple of blokes tomorrow that are going to find it very difficult to brush their teeth.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
Especially Brendan Hall, he hasn't got any left.
Maybon. 26,433 the official crowd tonight. 26,433. So the league, they must be tickle pink with that figure. I was reading the other day where somebody was telling them their crowds are down. Since that time, Brisbane have gone 51 and 46 or something. This has gone 26.
And 23, the Parramatta-St George game last Sunday.
That's right. That's right.
Wouldn't be surprised if it's a similar crowd at Belmore on Monday in our televised games. Little kick put through by South Sydney hasn't been a good one. And Luke Ricketson half breaks the tackle.
Craig Field was the man that kicked it through, and he's down in back play. Struggles to his feet. I've just got one eye on him and one eye with the ball as Gary Freeman fires it out for Hall. Beautiful pass out wide for Gaffey. There's that man again. 20 metres out from the south line. Appleby goes away from dummy half. 15 out now. 10-4. 10-4 in favour of East. Salvatore, 5 metres from the line. 5 tackles gone. O'Dwyer, Freeman goes to the air. It's a perfect bomb. Up they go, down they come. It's back with Freeman. 6 more tackles. Orford for the corner. The big swallow dive puts him in for a try.
Was a great bomb by Gary Freeman. Eastern Suburbs now go to the 14-4 lead. Plenty of East players went up for this kick, and the ball flicked backwards, and from there it was always going to be a try with Orford running into fresh air. Freeman held the kick up. They're all onside, the East players. Plenty of South players there as well. Came down and got flicked back there. Freeman picked it up and away it went, and Orford won the running race to the line. Nice in and away, and not a bad dive.
Yeah, it was the perfect bomb, and it was the perfect chase from the Eastern Suburbs players. This is Orford, one of the quickest players, if not the quickest in the East first grade side. A simple job for him, but great work from Gary Freeman again, not just with the way the kick was directed, but the fact that he got there and was on hand to pick up the bouncing ball, as he is so many times in matches, and saw that he had an unmarked winger out wide through the long pass. And Eastern Suburbs, they certainly have a lot of success with their kicking game inside the opposition 20. That one was a real lottery between two teams. A 50-50 ball, a lot of times it is going to go your way. On that occasion, it certainly did for the Roosters.
Brendan Hall, 22 metres out, and 14-4 is the score. Strikes it, just a little bit too much coil on it, and no change. 14-4 in favour of Eastern Suburbs. This was the try. Jeff Orford goes in to put it down. We'll be back in just a moment. So 63 minutes gone, and 14-4 in favour of Eastern Suburbs. Just on that crowd, apparently it's a home ground record crowd for the Roosters. Just repeating, 26,433. O'Dwyer. Casato tries to burrow his way out from the 30-metre line as we go down to Steve Roach.
Yeah, Troy Slattery has just been replaced by Brett Patterson, who was South's best player in reserve grade.
Hold the phone, Roachie. Freeman gallops down to the 30, comes to the line of defence, puts it down. Maybon unable to take it. And Harrigan rules knock on against both. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, I was just saying, Brett Patterson was the best player for South Sydney in the reserve grade. And Jeremy Donoghue coming on at the moment. I don't know who for just yet.
Well, great break made there by Jason Tassel. Got out of the tackle of Tim Hoare, and Gary Freeman backing up. Got a lot of Eastern Suburbs players there. The pass around the back just didn't find the right one. Maybon tried to pick it up. Knock-ons both ways. Eastern Suburbs committed the first offence. And we've got John Minto down hurt.
Well, both these players are very groggy, Pete. Tassel and John Minto are the two players. It must have been a clash of heads. Gary Freeman rushed in and actually pushed Minto back onto the ground and said, "Stay there, son, we'll take some time out here." He was quite concerned, Freeman. Let's have a look at this. Is Minto the ball carrier?
Yeah, he's just taking the top of the knee. It wasn't the knee exactly, but a fairly solid hit high up on the leg.
Well, number 11, Tassel, has gone off for Eastern Suburbs. Minto's okay, so it was the tackler who's come out second best from that encounter. Silva. Carroll's come from the field. I don't doubt that he's not feeling all that well, because he's taken plenty of heavy tackles. Appleby's had an ordinary second half. He's had an outstanding first, but an ordinary second. Souths not beaten yet. Thompson has to let the decoys go. When I say that, they'd overrun him, and had he have gone round behind them, he would have given up a penalty. Fuller to play it. 14-4 in favour of Eastern Suburbs. Doniger gets the pass away for Garlick. The pass was forward to Fuller. Now it's back with Andrews. 12 metres out from the line. 13 minutes to go. Can the Rabbits put another try on? Wide ball for Tim Horan. Floating pass. Oh, put down by Patterson. It was a tough one.
There's plenty of support out there, and there's a nice long pass by Horan. Away it went. Patterson put the ball down up around the head area. They were outside the east defence, and it would have been a try.
Freeman working the scrum. Freeman saying to Harrigan, have a look at their lock. Harrigan takes the scrum back in field. This could well be the longest scrum we've seen in the modern day of rugby league. Yeah, Digham has taken maternity to get a decision from it. Now we have. Easter with it. Appleby tries to steamroll his way over the top of the South players. Thought about passing, but there was no need to. Not with the scoreline the way it is. 14-4 your way. You don't start throwing flash passes inside your own 20. Now Brendan Hall gets the pass away that came off the feet of Freeman. Well, the referee has ruled a knock on.
Yeah, Gary Freeman half blowing up there. He thought it should have been play on. A good break made by Brendan Hall. Got the ball away, and it didn't look as though there was a knock-on's come off Gary Freeman's foot. And there's Freeman's reaction.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Freeman was right. Now the penalty goes with South Sydney.
Yeah, he's got Gary Freeman on that occasion for not retiring, so a double blow to East. And South now, they get a good opportunity with 11 minutes remaining to put some more pressure on the East defensive line, which has been pretty good tonight.
Bit of urgency now in the South Sydney.
And they're all offside again, the Roosters.
In the South Sydney work, and now the penalty goes to South. 10 metres out. They need a try. They need a converted try desperately to bring them back to 14-10. Garlick away from field. Long ball Brown. Equally Horan. Cut out ball on the bounce to Patterson. Patterson had two players on his outside. They had 2-on-1 and he cut back in. Maybon plays it. Maybon's with it. Now it's Doniger. 10 metres out from the line.
They've got to come back left straight away. East have got their line fairly well back as the ball goes down. The reverse play, scissors play up the middle. Didn't work. Matthew Fuller puts the ball down. Really, South Sydney with just over 10 minutes to go. With all the pressure they've been applying here, needed to run in points. A simple set play around the dummy half has come unstuck.
Casada. Been a mile of good players out there tonight. And of course, Mitsubishi Motors, they make it possible. The $1,000 man of the match on Friday nights. And to the Mitsubishi Motors people, we say thank you. And so to the players, because it's a great award. $1,000 man of the match in Friday night football. Penalty goes to Eastern Suburbs. Steve Roach.
I don't think South have got enough go forward without Mark Carroll and Peter Johnson. Doesn't seem there's that many blokes willing to run with the football.
Just again for you footy tab punters, if the score remains as is, 14-4 to East, Your return would be $314.70.
So you think 36 all's out of the question?
Not you again. You ever thought of a job on Hey Hey It's Saturday? The cap on a stick. He does have holidays.
Yeah, fat stick. Excuse me.
So they tell me.
Penalty goes to the Roosters. And 40 metres out. Brendan Hall assigned a kick for touch. Finding the line.
There's the fat man.
Hello. I didn't know you'd gone down there. Now, Appleby. 10 metres out from the line. O'Dwyer. Freeman. Cut out ball for Beecraft, who's back with us now. He took a very heavy hit fairly early in the game. Oh, Gaffey 8 metres out from the line.
Well, that was the set play we saw them score against Norths with Salvatore was coming through. Gaffey decided to throw the dummy. East now only 2 metres out. A couple of tackles left.
Beecraft gives it to Ward. Ward is short. 5 tackles gone. Away off the boot of O'Dwyer. Cleaned up by Maben. And it'll be a line dropper.
Very good play, O'Dwyer. Gary Freeman, I think, wanted to throw the ball left, but the defence of South Sydney got up very quickly on the outside. Nice little left foot kick, just got it back inside there. Cleaned up by Maybon, and the kicker comes up with the tackle. Another set of 6. They only have to play the rest of the game down this end of the field, and they won't be beaten.
7.5 minutes of time remaining. 14-4 in favour of Eastern Suburbs. If you've just joined us, East 14, South 4. Casado. Tremendous atmosphere here tonight at the football stadium. The Royal Easter show at the adjacent fairgrounds, and plenty of the fun of the fair has spilled over to here. Ward been strong as a replacement. O'Dwyer, Freeman, Hall, cut out pass wide, and that's Gaffey out there. Can't see the number, but you can almost bet it's him. He'll be in the back line raid somewhere as the kick goes down to Maybon. It'll come out to the 22 for the tap restart. He'll want to get on with it pretty quickly too. Taken by Darren Shaw. Uses Maybon immediately, and Gaffey launches himself to bring him down. Steve Roach.
On Skelton, the reserve grade captain hooker, is replacing Sean Garlick in the South Sydney side.
Skelton, you say?
Yep, that's right, Ray.
Thanks, mate. Doniger. 40 metres out from their line. Matthew Fuller. Craig Field has had a great game. Darren Brown across for Maybon. And Maybon flung into touch. Well, that doesn't help.
Excellent tackle there from Luke Ricketson. The back line for Eastern Suburbs. Maybon, just the momentum going the wrong way for him, and Ricketson, very good defender for East. Won our award against Newcastle early in the year. One of the fine young prospects coming through.
Now he's given a turnover here. It's against Freeman for an incorrect feed. In other words, he didn't put it in the tunnel. He must have put it in behind the prop's feet. This is Doniger. Skelton. Fuller. Field. Switching the point of the attack. That's a knock on, though, and the scrum will go down midway between the 20-metre and halfway.
That's been the story for the Rabbits most of the night. Their discipline and ball handling has let them down badly, especially when they've tried to put something fancy on out wide. The passes haven't been going to hand just right for the Rabbits, and they've turned over possession too many times to the Roosters.
On quite a few occasions, the important pass for South Sydney has gone behind. I don't know whether it's the fault of the pass or maybe the support players haven't been deep enough, but we've seen a couple of tries, the try-scoring opportunities nullified by the fact the ball's gone behind and gone to ground.
Gaffey fending away. Ricketson tries to go through the gap. 5 metres into South's area, played by Ricketson. Casato, Brendan Hall. O'Dwyer, Freeman, Ward. It's been an entertaining game, this one. Salvatore, tremendous game by the East captain. 5 gone. Young Maben called on to go above the pack, and he does it. Splendid take by Rod Maben. Thompson, shot. Just over 3 minutes to go. Skelton. Field. Freeman coming up with the ball right on the halfway mark.
Under 3 minutes to go now as Orford straight through, and he's got enormous speed. He'll score.
No worries about that. Thompson pursues. Orford gets his second. Both the flankers for Eastern Suburbs. They get a double of tries, and they embrace Appleby and Orford. 18 points to 4. 77 gone.
A lot of speed, Jeff Orford. The South defence getting very tired out wide. A winger on a second row, always going to beat him. And Manoa Thompson came over, thought he should have got him, but got to the man, fell off the tackle. Great work.
The South defence getting up too quickly. You'll see Tim Horan, who frees the play there. You'll see Horan in the background has come up a lot quicker than his inside players. Play continues, and that's left that gap right there, straight through at Orford. He is the quickest man in the Eastern Suburbs team. I thought he was going to score easily, but Manoa Thompson coming across, did get a shot on him, just got out of the tackle. And that certainly clinched the game. There's the gap left. Darren Brown on the inside. Tim Horan went up quickly. And once the defence gets staggered like that, a man with speed, as this winger has for Eastern Suburbs, is going to take advantage. Probably, as Paul Borton pointed out, a tackle that should have been made. Even if the tackle had been made, he may have got across with the momentum.
4th try for the year for Jeff Orford. Brendan Hall from near the touchline. On its way, but hooking away, and no goal. Bit of a problem there for Eastern Suburbs, I suppose. I know it's 18-4, it's nice and comfortable, but they've only got the 1 goal. Brendan Hall.
Really good win for the Roosters tonight. I mean, they've thrown the ball around. It's something we haven't seen from them for a while, but their support play has been very, very good. Whenever there's been a break made, they've had men on hand to carry it on. Colin Ward's been one of their good players, especially in the second half. Gaffey's had an absolutely huge game.
Salvatore. Gaffey. He's become an important part of the side, Paul, hasn't he? Gaffey.
He's got a lot of speed, the former Canberra Raider. Now playing with the Roosters, a lot of speed, a lot of ability. And he's been playing as an extra centre most of tonight and been very successful at it.
Appleby hands it back for O'Dwyer. The crowd, they count it down. Bill Harrigan says that's enough. You've given us 80 minutes of good rugby league. An historic occasion here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Rugby league on a Good Friday. And really the fans, they gave us the answer. 26,500 gave Eastern Suburbs a record home crowd for this stadium. and they've won 18 points to 4. The Mitsubishi Motors people, they've got $1,000 to give to the man of the match, and that won't be an easy assignment. Heaps of good rugby league talent out there tonight. 18-4 then. The Roosters defeating the Rabbits. We'll take a break. Be back with more in just a moment.